god. Is this real?
Have you ever felt such a strong sense of gratitude to someone who inspired you or supports you with advice that you would like to bring back a piece of your emotions? If you are a designer and still don't know who Chris Du is, Google it. Just Google it and you're welcome. This is Oля, my good friend and creative director, one of the coolest design agencies in Ukraine. Together we did a collaboration for 2 hours design battle. About a month ago, Oля wrote to me and said that she had a good news for me. She will be speaking at the awards conference where Chris Du will be and will be able to speak with him. Oля flies to the conference on the morning of February 19th. That means she should have a present for Chris on February 18th. Today is the 13th. I have a lot to do and I hope I will have enough time. First, I looked at the photos with Chris to notice some interesting features. I think that the more there are all kind of cool little details in a present, the stronger effect will be. This is probably one of the most iconic features of Lego as a company, love to the details, and I want to adopt it. Look, Chris often wears costumes and prefers a combination of black and white. If we talk about accessories, this might be kept usually with inscriptions raw, type and God as a designer. What else? Glasses and watches on the left hand. It seems Rolex or Omega. Who knows, please write in the comments below. We will use all this to make the figure more interesting. Now for the 3D model. I was always wondering how to make Lego sets. In the end I figured it out, and partly that's why I make such a gift. Who as a child didn't want to make his own Lego set? I found a Bricklink site where you can buy Lego parts one at a time. This marketplace has its own app that allows you to make models from existing Lego parts and automatically generate instructions for them. What? In Ukraine there was one major vendor at this site, from whom I already tried to place an order. So I will need to consider the presence of certain parts, a certain color in a certain amount. Otherwise I have to redo the model. Before making Chris Du Brickhead's figure, I bought 2 Lego sets, one due to the large amount of parts, second to know the physical dimensions of the instructions and the box. But to start, it's not necessary to immediately buy something. You can find the instruction of some set and assemble it in the Bricklink Studio app, so you can understand the principles by which you can make a Brickhead's figure. That's the kind Chris Du I did. First I made a rough model, pretty simple, and then I tried to add the details. While I wait for the parts, I can do the box design. To do this, I will take apart the box from the kit that I bought as a sample, scan and send the layout to Figma. As a base font, I will use Champion Gothic. Chris uses this font in his profile on Instagram. I'll choose Helvetica for technical information. Blue, yellow, red and black are the signature colors of the Future Academy. The graphics will be simple geometric shapes. Other than that, I want to use a gradient to create an interesting texture. Now I will show you the principle by which I made the box design. I started with a simple thing that I almost don't need to design, but only transfer it to my layout: logos and technical information. Background information is a great place to hide Easter eggs. For example, Lego set number. Instead of using a random number, I choose the number of house in which future office is located, 7002. How do you think? He will notice or not? Then I add texture and give it a certain randomness. Now it's time to add the Brickhead's figure to the layout. I didn't use the 3D model, but instead I put a little extra effort and took photos. A little tip: if you will take subject photos, use rubber gloves. It's easier to clean small dust than fingerprints on post-production. Also, so as not to cut my fingers out in Photoshop later, I used a small rig for the second photo to show the stand and the figure together. To better fit the photo into design and separate it from the background, I added a little glow behind the figure. It remains to add small details. These points can be found on the Future website, as SVG files by the way. So, thank you, future designers. And the last thing, I don't like is that the layout in center some kind of fails, so I use type to handle it. Here I also add small Easter egg. The letters F and T are in the name of the future, but they are also in the name of my channel, further, and I often use the abbreviation F and T. So this is a double kill. Now when the box design is ready, I have to make sure that dimensions of the layout when printing are the same as the original box. It came out nice. I prepared 3 options for the box, from white cardboard, craft cardboard, as well as glued from 2 parts. Past experience has shown hoping to be able to do something from the first try, if you have never done it before, is reckless. Also, beta experience taught me that I need to care about the safety of packaging. So I made a small plywood box, in order not to worry about the gift for Chris during the flight. And instead of relying on quality of the glue, I added a few nails. It's time to disassemble the figure and move on to packaging. Once again, the Lego set that I bought as a reference came in handy. I didn't tear apart the plastic bags with the parts. Instead, I made a small incision and pull out the parts one at a time. Then in the same way I put new parts there and soldered everything with an iron and a piece of cloth. So I got the packaging as in the original Lego set. As a result, in the evening of February 17th, I had a box layout and instructions that still need to be printed. Packed parts, a box with a lid that didn't close. I already understand that I didn't have time to do everything and send it to Oля. The only option was drive 700 kilometers per night, finish everything in Kiev and pass the Lego set to Oля personally. That's exactly what I did. So in Kiev I had to visit the printing office twice, since there were issues with layout design files and technical aspects for printing. Take a look to the hardware store and buy the missing parts for the plywood box. And finally come to the vintage design agency office to assemble the whole set.
В общем, мне минут 20 осталось для того, чтобы собрать коробку, отдать ее Оле, и на этом все.
He creates for you. It's take 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks he creates this present for you, and he said to give to your hands.
Okay.
And just record your emotion when you open it.
Okay, thank you very much. Who's this person?
He's a Ukrainian video blogger. He have QR code here. You can read then after. You can.
Just open it, please.
Airport has a security check, so it's not bomb. It's any problem. We have security support.
See, I wasn't worried about that until you mentioned it. I wasn't even thinking that. It's an interesting package.
Yeah, it's handmade. It's fully handmade.
Oh my god. Is this real?
You open, please. We can go to the table.
Go to the table?
Yeah, yeah.
Childproof. Did I rip it open?
Yeah. How is it open?
There's the sticker for the type. And the watch, I can't believe it. Wow. Oh my god.
Who is it?
I think I know this person. It looks a little familiar. Wow. Oh my gosh. How do you even do this? Is this 3D printed? How do you make this?
You can ask him.
This is so cool. So who do I talk to? Thank you so much. This is amazing. This is like the coolest thing I ever got. Thank you very much.